So in 1784, there was this thinker, Immanuel Kant, who wrote a book called What is Enlightenment? And in this book, he talks about what makes a human being mature. He had this idea about maturity. He said that human beings are mature when we let nothing but our own understanding guide us. This kind of maturity is extremely difficult to achieve. It's near impossible to strip oneself of all cultural and societal values and go on nothing but your own understanding. But despite this kind of maturity is in the realm of possibility for all human beings. It's what makes us a distinct human species. There was this other thinker called Carl Schmitt who wrote a book called Political Theology. And in this political theology, he writes kind of about, first, you have the everyday normal living. This is called the rule. Then you have a crisis, and this is called the exception. He said that in this crisis, in this time of exception, we're facing an existential threat, so a threat to our existence. And in this face of death, we're paralyzed with fear. We don't know what to do, we're scared. It's a time of indecision. It's a time where there's no manual on how to act. So he had a solution for this, and honestly, I think the solution that he gave is kind of what has been happening in America in the last 15 years. But anyways, he had a solution for this. He said, we need someone to, we need a leader. We need someone to step up and take the initiative and resolve this time of crisis. Someone to make decisions about the exception, make decisions during the exception, and then declare the end of the exception. The usual rights afforded by the Constitution then need to be suspended, and the powers of the executive branch expanded. I don't know, this understanding is kind of problematic. A time of crisis is not when you need one personal leader, not when you need one person to step up and make all the decisions and the rest to follow. It's when you need democracy the most. It's when we all need to make decisions. It's when we need to step up and let nothing but our own understanding guide us. It's one of the only times where we can find this maturity that Kant talked about. It's one of the only times when there is no manual on how to act and societal and cultural norms imposed on us no longer exist. As America continues its war on terror and all the acts that were put into place after 9/11, the authorization of use of military force, the Patriot Act, those acts expanded the power of the executive branch, and they're still in effect. So theoretically, we're still in a time of crisis. Democracy doesn't live independent of the people. It cannot live independent of the people. Democracy is sort of like Tinkerbell. It really doesn't exist if you don't make it exist. If we want a true organic democracy, this is the time that we need to form it. Now is when you need to vote.